All right, gentlemen, let's take a look at our plan for Tuesday's session number 5, focused on create to finish. So from a game owner perspective, we've kind of worked our way up the field. So this session, we're going to work on that creation phase, or the create phase. We use the image just as a reference point, but really it's once we get the ball facing forward in front of their back line, how do we penetrate it? Then what's our actions to create goal scoring chances from there? So here's our objectives. First one is we want to maintain that optimal width. Obviously, as we work ourselves closer to the goal, we start to narrow a bit, but we want enough width to stretch the opposition. We want to create wide overload, so we want numbers up in the width, and we're trying to get to assist zone 1, which I'll show you an image next. So we're looking at movements, positioning of our outside back, wingers, and attacking mids. Those three tend to be the 3 players most involved, but that doesn't mean it's the only players that can create these. So we're looking to attack the back of the opposition's back line. So we're looking to hit the space when we get one of the back 4 to step out and press us. So how do we get in that space and behind them? And then the what if moment we've got to think about. So if we turn the ball over, are we prepared for the transition? Can we quick counter press and get a turnover near our own goal? And again, what's the value of locking the other team in their own half, not letting them out? So here's that image of assist zone 1. Here's these key spaces that we're going to try to get into in that final phase of the game. It's that space from the edge of the 6 to the edge of the 18. So statistically, and there's a bunch of people, including Trey, could show you these images of where goals are scored, and more importantly, where goals are created. And these pockets of space are one of the highest percentage places of goals created. So especially if you watch any of the modern games, especially Man City, a lot of their goals are created from this space. So exercise 1, a little pattern play to get some technical activation. So to get focused on how do we get into that space behind the opposition back line. So really focused on when our 7 and 11 come and pick up a vertical pass, do we have movements that attack the space in behind them? So guys will share, rotate through and be able to play different roles, but again, looking at the different cues and moments and ball circulation to hit the space in behind those players. Exercise 2, we're going to look at a similar setup to last week in the 5v5, but now we have wide neutrals. So that 3-2 shape with the width players being able to provide killer passes to break that final line. So it's 5v5, and then with our extra wide players, how do we break that final line? And then once they're into that free space, you can create a one-touch finish. We'll eventually allow defenders to recover in, but really focus on how do we break that line? What different movements, combinations can we make? From there, we move into a phase of play, so we're looking at half field stuff where we get closer to real numbers. We'll focus on our front 3 or midfield 3 and our 2 outside backs. So how do those players interact to overload the opposition's width to break that red line? So a similar pattern of play, we're going to try to break that red line. Once we're in there, we're able to create goal scoring chances freely, and then eventually allowing the gray to recover in. You'll notice that the corners are cut off of the field. This again funnels us towards that assist zone 1. So we're really focused on getting into that space. We can't forget the transition as well. So again, the blacks are going to work as well in their transition to defend when the ball turns over, denying the grays the chance to play into those 3 counter goals. So I want to provide you guys a couple examples from ourselves. This one's against Duluth, looking at how we've accessed this assist zone 1. So see, as the ball circulates, start to look at how the opposition start to force us wide. We've got a 2v1 on the outside back in a massive gap. Our striker runs into that space off the back of the attacker. So watch one more time. And again, as you can see this, especially this image from high up at Augsburg, you can see the gaps in the opposition back line. Our left winger pulls their right back out, and it's a huge gap. Now, Will Kidd runs off the back of that player, so he doesn't see the run coming. Ball's played into that assist zone, and then we're able to look to have some type of cutback cross. The other one is against Joy, and this is us counter-pressing and then creating a chance into that assist zone. So we'll watch again. We press quick, win it back, and look at that movement. Again, off the back of the defender, into that space. I think this is Eli this time. One more time as we look. Boom, we press it. He runs off the back shoulder of their player into that gap between their center back and outside back, and looking to create a chance. So hopefully pretty good images of what we're trying to get done. Again, guys, this is our first time working on it. Just get some basic ideas of how we penetrate their back line, and then obviously the type of movements we want to finish as well. See you guys Tuesday.